Hey, what is up, YouTube boxing family? It is I, K-Rod here. I'm back at it with another good show or another good video for y'all today. Let's talk about Devin Haney versus George Kambosos for undisputed in the Super Bowl of the Glamour division of the lightweight division. So yeah, let's get right to it, man. So Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. This is a very interesting matchup. But not only that, I really do believe Devin Haney will come out victorious. But um, I think a lot of people, especially like the typical, LDBC contacted, YouTube creators that don't have full faith that Devin will pull off with the victory, just simply due to the fact that they are rightfully so, afraid that Devin could potentially lose to a messed up decision that could very well be rigged, up against him, in Australia, as we speak, as George Kambosos is the hometown cooking fighter. But knowing how I can easily see this happen is just that I think knowing that Devin signed a multi-fight deal with Top Rank, I don't think Bob Arum would be dumb enough to try to bring him on to make it seem like that Devin is going to just lose on his very first, Top Rank debut. Um, I do believe, like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, it's just that, you have to, like, consider it with all odds, stacked against you to the point where, like, once you get up to that level, you have to be disciplined enough to be, set in stone for, like, what you want to do. So, how I definitely do see this fight being played out is just that I think Devin's going to win. I think it's going to be a very, very high level ring IQ type of fight. I definitely do believe that what he can do to present himself to be successful, it's gonna have to be teeing off with your jab, and just making sure that you're staying active the entirety of the fight. I think Devin will very well do that. He's not a slow starter. He likes to take things very fast with his jab. And then after that, he's basically just, going up to that next, level as he turns it up, like a notch higher. I do believe, honestly, like George Kambosos, he will have those moments, in the fight where he thinks he's going to hurt Devin, but I don't really think so. I think George Kambosos, he's a pillow-fisted, pussy. I don't personally think he's going to hurt Devin. And I think Devin, he looks more of a welterweight type fighter built inside a lightweight body. And George, he's more of like a 126 or 130 pound lightweight built inside a lightweight body, if you get what I'm saying. Because people want to make the argument to say size doesn't matter in boxing, like, i.e. Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, but I disagree with that. I think size does matter in boxing. And even though that I box myself, but I can definitely see the difference when I face up against guys that are smaller than me. Not even to say, knowing that I'm a heavyweight, but it's just that when I look at these dudes that fight at lightweight, super middleweight, super welterweight, all these other weights, they tend to have like a different mindset of how they get up to that level when they're like when they're using their athletic ability to go the full distance. And I could definitely see the problem with what was happening in that situation. It was mainly due to the fact that when you don't have enough gas in your tank to go the full 12 rounds or go the full 10 rounds, that's what makes a true fighter be exposed for who they are. And I think in this fight, Devin's gonna show George Kambosos why he's been in these wars. And I mean, honestly, like, I'm gonna have to credit Devin for calling out, all the best names, because nobody really doesn't want to fight him. Devin Haney has really shown himself why he is, the baddest man in the lightweight division, but he's definitely one of the baddest baddest fighters in boxing. I definitely have to agree with that, because I think Devin has proven himself to be that Floyd Mayweather type of fighter where nobody can't really say anything controversial about him, because nobody don't want to fight him. Because if you guys had confidence in the first place to beat Devin, then y'all would have been able to defeat Devin a long time ago. And that would have been, let the pure highlight of just saying, oh, well, Devin Haney, he ain't shit and blah, blah, blah. And Devin, he can't do this, he can't do that. He isn't, gonna be successful. No, Devin Haney is, the real deal. And, he earned every single step of the way to get up there. And I have to credit him for that because I don't think anybody is doing what Devin did just now, as we are basically approaching fight night within a couple hours here in America, as it's 11:25 in the morning here in Albany, New York. The fight card officially starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, and for anybody that's out west or in the Central Americas or Midwest in the United States, that is subject to change with your time frame. But let's just keep it clear that I believe that the fight is on a Sunday because Australia is a day ahead of us. I would I would assume that the main event should start around 11:30 or 12 a.m. I'm not too sure, but let's just hope that Devin's able to get his main event in before Stefan Fulton and David Morrell they start fighting. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to happen pretty quick. Because it's honestly, the undercard is, really trash. I don't really like the Maloney brothers. Honestly, I don't understand why the fuck they were ever to be put on this card. They don't sell their shitty names, and I don't see them really doing anything but just wiping, the floor with their competition. And I kind of feel like that they're just garbage people, in the first place. Because I don't really think Jason and Andrew were that good to begin with, and that's how, to me, that's why that I just don't like white, hype job fighters, because you could easily tell, once they get put up in there with guys, that can fucking hit and that can, do their thing, they're just basically nothing at that point. So I don't really think Andrew and Jason are going to survive long, especially under the Top Rank banner. I mean, yeah, of course, they could be fed like nobodies that we don't know, but, once they get up to that world title level and they want to start going up against guys like Naoya Inoue or, Gary Antonio Russell or those guys, in that stable, I don't see them, surviving that long. I think, honestly, man, at the end of the day, their skill sets have just been, deprecated. But either way, let's get right into it with the main event. I think Devin Haney, he's going to dominate George Kambosos. I think George Kambosos, he's in a lot of trouble with Devin's jab. He doesn't really have faster hands than Devin. His ring IQ is really shit. I don't really think his ring IQ is that good. I think George has shown, even at the top of the top level, in your last 3 fights, you have gone split decisions with guys that were never that good to begin with, but they are still a dangerous threat to you because your style is not that hard to figure out. It's just that you got a lucky decision over 3 opponents that can easily knock you out, i.e. Teofimo Lopez, in which I felt like Teofimo, he just defeated himself mentally, and he wasn't there. That's something that Teofimo should have worked on, and he should have been more disciplined, and he shouldn't have been smoking fucking hookahs and being a dumb, piece of shit. That's just me. And then Lee Selby and Mickey Bay. Those 2 fights were easily, back-to-back robberies. I felt like the Mickey Bay fight could have been a split decision towards Mickey Bay, because I felt like Mickey Bay, he was playing around too much with George Kambosos, and he wasn't being serious on him. But then again, he came off of a 2-year layoff, so I can't really blame him. But still, you got to be ready to be ready, or you got to stay ready to be ready. So I don't like that, performance out of him, but he definitely deserved to be edging the victory over George. The biggest issue that I had with the Lee Selby fight was that Lee Selby, he was doing a tremendous job keeping himself at bay, and he was obviously making sure that the fight was centered to the outside, and George, he was getting beat to the jab, and George didn't really look any good. He just looked average. He looked ordinary. He looked like a guy that was very vulnerable. But either way, like I felt like George, he was just never put at that level to begin with, and the only reason why he was at this level was because that he got close nip and tuck victories over guys that should have beat him, and George was just basically put, in this position because he basically got, the luck of the draw by getting gifted, decisions. But either way, however, like, people want to try to speculate and try to bullshit, around it. I don't think George is that good. I think George is beyond trash, and I'm not sold on him, man. I don't see Devin really losing, that many rounds. I think honestly, if it really does go to the cards, I think Devin could very well 12-0 him or 10-2 him. If it ever goes to a, actual, unanimous decision. But I think Devin should very well win the fight either way, because you cannot tell me that Bob Arum's going to be okay with having those belts hostage in Australia, and then whatever, the Kambosos dipshit team, minus Javier Centeno, because I got respect for him, but his team is going to do some stupid things where they're going to act like, oh no, well, I need to keep like my belts and all this other crap, and like, nah, motherfucker, it's either you're going to keep these belts or are you going to just move up, because we already seen what happened when he just missed weight like 4 times on the scale, and I'm pretty sure by the sanctioning body's rules, once you miss weight multiple times, you have to basically be stripped, and then if you make weight within 2 hours, then that's what should be. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, that's what should be determined for for you to be victorious, for you to be ready for the fight. But either way, man, I think George Kambosos, he's coming in drained. He's going to be basically dry, coming in very out of shape. And I think Devin, he's going to just, whip his ass. I think Devin's just going to tire him out first, and I think that's how it's basically going to be played out. But, my final prediction is that I got Devin Haney by KO, and I think that's what's going to happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what y'all think. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. All right, peace out. Bye.